All right, Tomo. Let's see. Yeah, so I think Eva covered some of this. Yeah, I'm currently working at Stainless, which is one of the partner companies, and I'm a hobbyist programming language developer. I've been doing that for a long time. Tomo is, and probably always will be, the language of tomorrow. And what I mean by that is that there are a lot of ideas in Tomo that I think Tomo is like probably never going to have mainstream adoption, but I think that like it serves as a proof of concept for ideas that I want other languages to steal. Like a lot of languages out there take ideas from like weird niche projects, academia or hobbyist stuff, and like yoink the best ideas and then implement them in a like mainstream language. And it's usually diluted and watered down, but also maybe like it is supported by a bigger institution, has more sway. So I hope that I can kind of like prove out some of these ideas and just show you like, this is the idea that other languages want to fantasize about becoming. So Tomo is just a quick overview. It's statically typed, mostly imperative. I have some ideas from functional programming and dynamic languages, but it transpiles to C. So I spit out C code and then run a C compiler on that to produce runnable code. It's garbage collected, so don't have to worry about manual memory management. And it has kind of Python-like syntax. So here's like the 99 bottles of beer song implemented in Tomo. You can see it's got indentation-specific syntax and pretty lightweight. There's not a lot of curly braces and not a lot of semicolons and things. This is not my first language. I previously made a language called Namsu that was like very dynamic-y and small-talky and lispy. This is like the opposite extreme, like very statically typed and compiled. Making languages is fun. I had a lot of free time in 2020 for some reason. And so I started to work on this project as like all the things that I didn't want or wasn't able to do in the super dynamic language, and also a mishmash of the things that I like about languages and am frustrated about. So it's fast and simple and low level like C, but has like ergonomics and readability like Python, and has type safety without like elaborate type systems in the same way that Go has them. I don't think there's such a thing as a perfect language, but I do think there's room for a new balance of like those aesthetic choices and trade-offs. So basically Tomo is kind of in the same ballpark as C# or Go. It's fast and compiled and has type safety and automatic memory management, but I think it has a lot of improvements over those things. So it's safer, it's less verbose and more expressive, faster compile times, there's good parallel computation or compilation, consistent semantics, and a laundry list of built-in features, which I'm going to run through really fast. You don't have to let this sink in, just let it wash over you and think, wow, cool. All right. We got garbage collection, type inference, but not too much. Some types, structs, pointers, arrays, hash tables, optional types, fast parallel compilation, high performance execution speed, a module system, awesome strings, best in class Unicode support, great error messages, automatic command line argument parsing, function caching, integer overflow safety, accidental data leak prevention, type safe string interpolation, paths as a native type, interoperability with CNC tooling, no object-oriented programming or generics, consistent reference and value semantics, immutability, first-class functions and lambdas, automatic data serialization and deserialization, and percentages. But that's not this talk. I'm not going to be doing a deep dive on any of these. I'm not going to talk about the language making process. I want to talk about Snake. You may remember Snake from the phone game or other places. I implemented a tiny little 150-line implementation of Snake in the terminal using Tomo. So the game logic is written in Tomo. It uses a Tomo library that I wrote a while ago that hooks into some C bindings for terminal interfaces. And it's a light wrapper around that C library. And basically it's like the library I'm using is like ncurses, but like in Tomo and much better. And I think this will just serve as like a nice showcase of some language features. So here's a quick demo of it. You can see I got this little snake. It's running in the terminal. Just using ASCII escape, NC escape sequences. My snake has died. It's got all the fruits that respawn. So let's take a little look inside what's going on here. So here's just like a quick overview of what the code looks like. You can see we've got some library imports at the top. You've got like a main function with some parameters that come in. I'll talk about that in a second. I've got a world that's created down here. The world is just a struct that has the snake and the fruits and the number of fruits. There's a little snake guy here. He has some body segments that are positions of screen vectors. He's got a color. He starts as green, a direction he's facing. There's a draw function, an update loop. If you've made a game before, this should be pretty familiar. So I'm going to talk about some of the features that make this work. So one pretty cool feature is that Tomo has a command line argument parsing for the main function. So in a lot of languages like C, you have this stupid array of strings as the only thing you get when the program starts, and you have to use some sort of third-party library to do argument parsing. You have to define all of that stuff in duplicate, where you say here's the types, and then also tell the argument parser, here's the types. And in Tomo, it just works out of the box. So you can see here, this is just the main function. It takes a snake color, which is green by default, and fruits, which is 10 by default. The little or sign is for short flags if you want to use those. And you can see here, if I just run the program, there's help messages. So this is if I run snake-help, you get here are the snake colors that are available. Here is what the fruits are and default values. And that's sort of just out of the box provided. So in this case, let's say we're going to say fruits, 999 of them, and the snake color is blue. And those are just command line arguments that come into the program. There's quite a few fruits here, as you can see, and the snake is quite blue, as you see. Let's see. So the CLI argument parsing also works with enums, which in the language are tagged unions. So in this case, I'm setting the snake color to RGB 255-0255, which is magenta. And the way that works is you can see enums. You may have seen stuff like this in other languages. It's pretty similar to a language like Rust or languages that have good tagged union support. The colors here are the terminal colors. So in a terminal, the ones that are supported are these colors. You got your 8 ones at the top. They're named. You've got your 256 colors down here, and then you've got 24-bit colors. So that's represented here as normal, black, red, green, blue, all that stuff, or color 256, which has a byte for which one you want, and an RGB value, which has bytes for that. So in the language, you have in this previous example, I can see we're passing automatic argument parsing for RGB values parsed out of that. The next thing, I guess I'll show also. Here's an example of how they're used. So this is in the code for the terminal emulator library. You can see here that the style, when you set the style, takes an optional color. So if you don't pass a color in, it's not going to do anything. But if you do, it says, okay, if foreground, then when it's one of these things, then you can call into the C code for all these other things. So this is what it looks like to use inline C code. And that's just calling into this little C function I have, or C file I have over here. So this is just interoperating with a big blob C code. And another thing I'll showcase really quickly is screen vector 2, which is just a struct, has an X and Y coordinate. One of the nice things in Tomo is that the default integer type is pretty efficient, and it overflows into big ints. So you're never going to get integer overflow issues. It's kind of like in Python, but in a statically typed language that cross-compiles to C. And it has some pretty cool implementation details that make it very efficient. So it only uses 64 bytes. For small integers, they just work as integers in registers without heap allocation. You can see also here I've got some operator overloading. So plus and minus are overloaded, which means you can do basic math arithmetic in the game. So here, for example, when you press a key, we say, if it's A or left, then you're going to move 2 pixels to the left. And if you're, up or down, you're moving 1 pixel up. And then you can do arithmetic operations like plus and minus. You can see also that, this whole thing works because I have interoperability with the C code. The C code is what's handling drawing and setting the terminal to accept 1 key press at a time instead of line buffering. And instead of writing this whole library from scratch in Tomo, I already had a pre-existing C library. So one of the nice things about C is there's a good ecosystem. And I think one of the nicest things you can do if you're a scrappy language developer is tap into a bigger ecosystem. So if you can do that, you can really benefit. So I have a HTTP server that just uses curl. like libcurl has a nice C bindings for it. And Tomo's build system supports doing this through modules. So like in this demo, I have this thing which says I'm using these two modules, B2E and random. B2E is my code and it just says where to find it and which version I'm using. This is all just implemented using pre-existing infrastructure. So it's using GitHub, it's using Git tags, it's cloning down the repository, it's just running the compiler on it. And all this stuff is sort of handled lazily without a separate build system. So when you invoke the compiler, it figures out what needs to be done and then does that. If you don't have it installed, it'll just prompt you, do you want to install it? You don't have to run a separate shell command. And this is, I think, like just what languages should provide. There shouldn't be a package manager separate from the language and a build system separate from the compiler and all these separate things that manage like lazy recompilation and those sorts of things. And I wish that other languages could borrow something like this. And it makes it nice, easy to like wrap C code in a Tomo library presentation, which means that my Tomo projects can use it. So I hope this is giving you a little window into like what Tomo code looks like and how the features interact with each other. Languages can be more or less than the sum of their parts, depending on how those features interact with each other. And I've really worked on trying to make the features additive, to add up to something that like I want other languages to steal good ideas from. And I also hope that the features are easy to learn and use, and development is fun and productive, and the code is fast and correct. So yeah, this is like the sort of Tomo program you can bang together in a single evening, and I hope that this like entices you to like want to try it yourselves. And see why it would be fun. So yeah, if you want to learn more, tomo.brucehill.com or talk to me after the talk. Thanks.